Welcome to another Domestic Preparedness Podcast interview. Today's topic, the effective use and training of intelligent accountability systems. This podcast is sponsored by Salamander Technologies.
The best part about having the credentialing system and being able to track the personnel is that it creates an efficiency for us. The other plus on it is that we're able to search the resources by their qualifications. And so we're not only able to do that on an immediate basis, but we can change those people by their qualifications per their assignment. On the command and control side, we were able to look at a full visibility of where we have everybody assigned.
MABUS uses a couple of different components within it. When we create our cards, we create it with the intent of using it for two purposes. One is to verify that we actually have a credentialed responder. The second, as far as the processing and the accountability on it, when we're using the system, we're using it more on a statewide deployment level. We're using it not on the day-to-day. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and have the cards, be able to use them, take the people who come in. They'll have the cards, they'll go through the validation, and then we'll go ahead and set them into a company. We're in the process of taking the different responders, implementing the use of the RFID cards as a company card. We have found that that's probably the best way to do it.
Well, the biggest benefit is it provides safety for our responders. And as long as they check in and check out with command, we know that they're accounted for. The Salamander solutions providing accountability on scene for personnel and equipment, I don't have to worry as much about safety and tracking of resources as I would if we didn't have a system that allowed us to track everybody.
I kind of go by a little quote that says 10% of what happens to you in life is really 90% about what you do about it. So this past April, we're actually awarded a Homeland Security grant, and we were able to obtain our Salamander system. Well, they delivered that system to us on April 9th, and we were scheduled for training on April 10th. We started training, I think, at 9 o'clock in the morning, and at 3:30 that afternoon, we had a tornado warning posted. At 4:30 that afternoon, my county was struck by an F3 tornado. So, of course, it was trial by fire for us. So we actually, at 6 o'clock that following morning on the 11th, we implemented the rapid tag system. So within the first probably 24 to 72 hours, I had a full-fledged 3-part integrated system that pretty much captured everything that I needed to capture.
I think by the end of the year, all of Region 7 will be on there. It's real nice for our border counties in Kansas, if we can get those other states involved, that our system is interoperable with those other states. So if you look at the EMAC process, it helps tremendously because if an incident occurs in one of those other states, Kansas can send support to those other states.
Practice, practice, practice. Get the people that are going to be working with the systems comfortable with the systems. Make sure they exercise them. Make sure they're the ones taking them out of the boxes and syncing them up and getting the rapid tag machines synchronized with command and running the tests up to Intertrax. Make sure you've got people that are interested in it. Make sure that you've got people from different parts of your service area that are involved.
I kind of put it into the planning, preparedness, response, and recovery situation. And I have to agree that on the planning side, making sure that you have individuals that are interoperable with each part of the system is going to benefit you greatly. On the preparedness side, it's the old saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. As far as on the response side, ensuring that you have hard copies of all the permanent responder badges along with the equipment. And so having those hard copies helped out just tremendously. And on the recovery side, the electronic documentation, as with any management system, the paperwork gets to be overwhelming. So being able to electronically store an incident or an event data. We'll ensure that the data is organized. It'll ensure that it's time-stamped and that it's accessible and presentable to the appropriate agencies.
Well, I think the biggest lesson is proper training. In fact, no matter what tracking system you use, the people need to be trained to use it. So as long as people have the training, I think that's key to using these systems. And they not only need that training for their personal accountability, checking in and checking out on an incident, but also being able to operate the equipment that we have on site to do the tracking of personnel.